When we play Megara, we get to choose and discard a card from your hand to prevent Megara from being banished. Yes, we want to discard Lilo. There it is. Turn 3, Lilo is discarded, and then we pass the turn. NANI? Today, we're playing an Emerald Amber deck. And the whole idea is to get Lilo into the discard as soon as possible. It's this Lilo, the escape artist. It can quest for 2. And then the idea of it is at the start of your turn, if this card is in your discard, you may play her and she enters play exerted. So you would play her if she's in the discard and you still have to pay the 2 ink. But our joke is that we're going to get it into the discard as soon as possible. And we're going to do that with these 3 cards mainly. We got the Megara. Megara says when you play this character, choose and discard a card or banish this character. So hopefully we get to play Megara on 3, and then we get to discard Lilo from our hand, put it in the discard, and then that's our goal. That's what we're doing. We also have the Queen Disguised Peddler. Also play it down on 3, but then you have to wait for it to dry to use his exert ability that says choose and discard a character card. Gain lore equal to the discarded character's lore. So we'd be able to discard Lilo and gain 2 lore. And then the next turn, we'd be able to play Lilo from the graveyard again. We also have this Ursula. Ursula herself doesn't discard any cards, but if we pair it with the song card, the strike a good match, this is what we want to get with Ursula, to be able to sing this twice. It says draw 2 cards, then choose and discard a card. So net, you're only getting 1 card, but if we draw 2 cards and then we get to discard our Lilo card, that's what we want. That's going to be a good deal. We also got our stitch line. We got 4 of these stitches, 2 of these stitches. We got 2 of these stitches, and all of those can either shift into this stitch or shift into this stitch. This stitch says when you play this character, if you shift a plan, you may put an action card from your discard on the top of your deck. So we can stack the deck however we want. We got plenty of action cards. We got over 20 action cards, 22 action cards to choose from. We got this to choose our characters that we want. So say we want to get more Lilos, boom, we're going to have a way to find more Lilos. We get to look at the top 5 cards. We may reveal up to 2 characters and put them into our deck. So if we do this card and if it takes place with Ursula singing together with it, we're also going to be able to get a whole bunch of cards that way. It's a good deal for sure. And then we got Friar Tuck, which is also one more way that we can discard Lilo ourselves. It says when you play this character, the player or players with the most cards in their hand chooses and discards a card. So hopefully our opponent has more cards in their hand, and then we're going to be able to discard our very own Lilo. We also got Clarabelle. She's going to pair it well when we get this 0 to hero going. If Ursula double sings it says count the number of characters you have in play. You pay that amount of ink less for the next character you play this turn. If we do that twice with Ursula, we can get some huge cost savings benefit and then be able to play our Clarabelle fast. So those are the jokes that we got going on for this deck. We're excited to try it out. Try to discard Lilo as soon as possible. That's the only thing that we got going for us. To make it a little bit more consistent, we're going to be going up against a wheel deck. That means that they're playing a whole new world, and they're going to be able to discard our hand for us. So we like that. So if you want to play this, the deck list is in the description. You can go to menu, export, ink table, and play on ink table.
Things that we learned in this video: some decks should just stay on paper. Number 2, Amber Steel is no joke. You can't meme against it. You sure can try, though. And number 3, it's not about how you discard Lilo. It's about why was Lilo discarded in the first place?
We're going first here. We're looking for the Lilo so we can discard our hand. If we don't get that, we're going to mulligan all 7. We're trying to get that Lilo. We're trying to do the joke to get her in the discard as soon as possible so we can play her from the discard as soon as possible. Really digging for that Lilo. Do we get one? Not a chance. Do we start over this game to find one? You betcha. Starting over the game again. We've already looked at 14 cards. We're trying to find the Lilo. Still don't get another one. We're going to mulligan all 7 looking for that Lilo card so we can discard it as soon as possible. There's another mulligan of 7. We're going up to 28 cards now that we've seen. Do we find a Lilo? We sure don't. We're going to do this again. It's either Lilo or Scoop. Here we go. We got a Stitch. We got our 1-drop there. We got a Clarabelle. We got some good cards here, but we don't have the Lilo. So we're mulliganing all 7, looking for those 4 specific cards. Lilo, 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 and Lilo. Will we get one? It's a big nope. So you know what we do? We scoop. Here we go, looking for the Lilo card. We got it on our 3rd card, and we also got another Lilo card right there. And we got a Megara to be able to discard our Lilo. That's the thing that we're trying to do in this video. We can ink Bruno right away. We can save this to double sing with Ursula. We like the way that this is going. we're going to keep this hand. It's got the stuff that we want to be able to do. Our opponent's going to mulligan a couple of their own cards, and we are going to start the game by inking our Bruno card because we don't have anything to do about that, and then we can pass the turn. Our opponent is on the wheel deck. We're hoping to see a shift queen turn 2 and play Whole New World. I think that's the big means. They put down a Cinderella. They could also just do lots of damage and take this out. How much? This has 6 willpower. That's absolutely huge. We're going to be able to ink another card. Is it going to be this, or is it going to be the Clarabelle? Looking like it's going to be the Clarabelle. We're going to not play Lilo this turn because we want Lilo to be discarded. Sure, you might say, don't you want to win the game? We don't want to do that. What we want to do is discard Lilo, and we're going to do that the next turn with Megara. We'll see what they got going for us. It's a Mr. Smee. Mr. Smee can quest for 2. That puts on a lot of aggro that we didn't want to see because we want to be able to win too. They're questing with their Cinderella. That's all right with us because we're just trying to discard Lilo. We got 2 Friar Tucks. Friar Tuck can also discard the Lilo next turn. We like the sound of that. So maybe we do ink the Friar Tuck, and then we are going to get to play Megara. When we play Megara, we get to choose and discard a card from your hand to prevent Megara from being banished. Yes, we want to discard Lilo. There it is. Turn 3, Lilo is discarded, and then we pass the turn. It's as easy as that. We've done the goal that we've wanted to do with this deck. Now it's just up to us to not lose the game too. They do let the Storm Rage on. It's going to do 2 damage to our Megara, and they get to draw a card. We're hoping that they'll have less cards than us, so when we play Friar Tuck, we get to banish Lilo, not banish, but put it into the discard. They play down a Lawrence. They're doing their thing. They quested a bunch. Mr. Smee takes damage. And do we play Lilo from the discard? You betcha. Do we play her? We would have 1 ink left to play with. I'd say no, so then we can sing with Ursula next turn. We get 0 to hero. Love to see it. At this point, we do have the same amount of cards, but if we ink a card and then play a card, then we won't have the same amount of cards. So that's kind of a bad deal for us. We are going to challenge the Cinderella. We want to get rid of her. That's just what we like to do. Now it's in the range for Smee to take out, though, but that's okay. Especially this Lawrence could take it out, but when we want to be able to trade, that's probably what they're going to do with their AI ideas. We can ink a card and play a card. We can play the Ursula. So next turn, hopefully, if this survives, we can play our... Look at this family. We're going to ink a Friar Tuck because we have less cards. It wouldn't have worked out anyways. And then we're going to pass the turn. Weird choices, but our main goal is to get Lilo in the discard. They're questing. No, they're attacking with the thing. That's what I said they should do, and they definitely did it. It's the best possible situation for them. They play down a Rapunzel gifted with healing to heal 3 damage off their Lawrence, and then they get to draw 3 cards. Where was this when we had our Friar Tuck? What? They go up to 5 lore. They take 1 more damage. Do we play Lilo from the discard? No. We want to discard Lilo. We got another Lilo. That's a pretty good deal. Do we ink a card and play a card, or do we just play 2 Lilos? Oh, if we sang this, if we double sang this, then we could have played everything. Why do we do that? We will play Lilo. We like that. Do we take out the Smee, or do we just hang out? 2, was that 5, 7? We don't want to ink it because we could all sing together and then get a bunch of cards next turn. We could get 4 character cards next turn if we don't do anything. But they definitely got some more Let the Storm Rages on to take out our Lilos and take out this stuff. There it is. Let the Storm Rage on is going to be able to do 2 damage. Takes out our Lilo. She goes to the discard. But the very next turn, we're going to be able to play her again from the discard for freezies. They do have another Let the Storm Rage on. They're singing it with Ursula, with Rapunzel to do 2 damage to Ursula. They play down a queen, and they're getting a full board stacked, and we don't have any answers. They shift the queen for 2 more ink. They still have an ink left to play. Ink in their Cinderella, the ballroom sensation. What are they going to do? They're questing again. Hopefully it gets rid of their Smee, because their Smee has done some crazy work this game. Putting down another Ursula, more insult to injury, and then their Smee is gone. Do we play them from the discard? I think the answer is yes. We play Lilo. We get to play Lilo from the discard. They interplay Exerted. We can. We don't really want to ink a card. If we sing this with Ursula, we can play Stitch for free. But then all we have is a 3/4 character. That could go into the queen next turn. Kind of like that. Do we sing? We're going to sing 0 to hero with Ursula. We're going to play it again from the discard for free, just for fun. And then we'll get to play our Stitch, because now it costs 4 less. It costs 8 less for the next character that we play because of 0 to hero. We can just wait now. We could challenge. If we challenge into here, it loses its strength value. but then it also has a thing to heal. Probably a bad idea, but now it goes to a 0 strength. We like the sound of that. And then we're passing the turn. Why are we keeping this card? Why do we have so much faith in Look at This Family? They have 4 cards in their hand. They're attacking the Ursula with their Ursula. Crazy choices. And then playing down a Pete, so we can't do any actions next turn. And we've saved this action for the whole time. They're up at 9 lore. They can go up 4 more lore. Oh, dude, they're seeing Whole New World. That's what we wanted to see. That's a good deal. That's going to help us out a lot. They're drawing their 7 first, and then we'll draw our 7. We get a Stitch. We get a Bruno. Don't mind if I do. We get a Queen. Queen can discard Stitch, draw 2. They put down a Daisy Duck. Singing Strength of the Raging Fire with their Queen, dealing 6 damage to our Stitch. Absolutely huge. Ink and a Cinderella. They could still play another card here. It's going to be a Queen. They can still do more stuff. How cooked are we, chat? Do we play Lilo from the discard for free? No, because we want a Bruno. We can't Bruno because they have Pete out. So we need to ink. Look at This Family. We need to play our character cards. We can play Stitch, and then we can also play Stitch. If we played Stitch, and then we shifted Stitch, we could also shift. Do we challenge anybody? If we challenge into Ursula, we can take her out. Or we quest. We quest for 2 there. That's 2 lore. We quest with our Lilo. That's 4 lore. And then we pass the turn. 4 lore. That's already a quarter of the game. That's already a fifth of the game. They play down Prince Naveen. When you play down Prince Naveen, you get to play a song card 4 freezies from your hand. They take out our Stitch and do a whole bunch of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage with Strength of the Raging Fire. They quest with their Daisy Duck, so we get to get the top card of our deck. If it is a character card, it is Ursula, Deceiver of All. They're questing with their Queen. Like to see that. Don't want the Queen to go on and do anything crazy now. They're up at 15 lore. At this point, we're pretty cooked. Maybe we should add the Milo Thatch that would return cards to their hand. Is it only damage cards to their hand? Do they have game on board right here? If they quest that Pete, they go to 19. Oh, dude, they had game long ago. So there you go. You can discard your Lilos early, but is it worth it? Probably not. So that first game did not go the way that we would hope. So we're going to go again against a mirror match. We're going against the same deck. We're going to see what shenanigans they do and see what shenanigans we do. We get some Stitches that can sing. Look at This Family. 6, 3, count less. We like this hand. This is what we're going to keep with. We're going to ink a Look at This Family, and then we are going to get to play our Stitch card, and then we'll pass the turn. We're going to see if we can beat the same deck. Homebrew against Homebrew. They ink Look at This Family. They got their playbook from Ready Set Ink, and then they play a Stitch. They got their playbook from Ready Set Ink. I'm starting to think something's up with the simulator. What else do we got? We got a You Came Back action card. We're going to ink our Brunski Bruno, and then we get to play a Stitch. Good deal. Now we got 2 cards, and then we can quest our Stitch. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe we should have saved Stitch to attack that Stitch. Maybe this Stitch is going to take out this Stitch. You never know what's going to happen on ink. Okay, well, they ink another Look at This Family. Did they have the same starting hand as us? And then they play a Lilo Escape Artist. Incredible. And then they're going to quest. They're up at 1 more. So we have a couple of options. I think our best option is to put this Ursula down. So that is what we are going to do. We will ink the Stitch, play the Ursula. So then next turn, hopefully we get a big character. If we get like a, I don't know, something, we could do stuff. We can challenge this Stitch into this Stitch because they would live with 1 willpower remaining. It takes 2 damage back, but that one's gone. And then we can quest this Stitch. We're okay. We're cooking. We're already at 2 lore. We're going to win this for sure. There's nothing bad that could happen anymore. They play a Stitch. How do they get our book? We inked that one before. They're questing for 2s up to 3. They're beating us, but we're going to be able to take out this Lilo the next turn. They're inking their Rockstar Stitch. Glad to see that. Don't want that in play. And then they're playing a Strike a Good Match. They get to draw 2 cards and discard a card. Do they discard the Lilo? They discard a Megara. They had all the smoke in hand, but they didn't go with it. We get a Queen Disguise Peddler. It's not going to help us that much right now. Do we have 7 costs to sing? We don't right now. If we play Ursula, we can double sing this twice. Play this for free. Is that worth it? I think what's worth it is we just challenge Ursula into there. I think that's what we got to do. And then if we can play the You Came Back action card, that's going to ready our Ursula. And then Ursula is going to sing the 0 to hero. It's going to sing it twice. So we count the characters that we have in play. It's 3. And then we play it again from the discard for free. No, so now we play 6 Lex for the next card that we play. And then we're going to play the Queen, Disguise Peddler. And then we are going to not quest anything else because we want to sing this look at this family. Do we? I guess we quest this one. And hopefully this stitch goes into there. Maybe we just quest everything. We could just ink this. But where's the fun in that? We're passing the turn. We're up at 4 lore. They're up at 3 lore. They play their Lilo from the discard for free. They're inking another thing. Do they have another Lilo to play? They're questing their stitch. Love to see it. Now we can sing Look at This Family, double sing it. For 2, what do? They just pass the turn. We got a Heffalumps and Woozles, which would let us draw 2 cards, and chosen opposing characters couldn't quest. That'd be the right play to do. Or we could sing Look at This Family, and then we could be set, but that'd cost everybody. But we could get characters to discard with Queen, and that'd be a good deal. No, because if she takes part in singing, then she's exerted. Why would we do that? That's what we're doing. We're going to sing Look at This Family. The Queen's going to sing it. Ursula's going to sing it. And this 1 cost Stitch is going to sing it. They're going to exert. We're going to look at the top 5 cards and put 2 character cards that we find there into our hand. We're going to get Stitch. Do we get Stitch? Yes. And do we get Lilo? Probably. And Lilo. We'll get those 2. And then we'll put those on the bottom of the deck. And then we'll get to sing it again with Ursula. We get to play it again for free. We get to get 2 cards. I think we're going to go for Stitch and Rockstar Stitch. So we will go ahead and get Stitch. And then we'll go ahead and get Rockstar Stitch. And then we'll say, okay, we will ink a card and play a Stitch. Do we ink Lilo? Why would we do that? If we put down Stitch, then we could shift Stitch. And we could get back an action card. We could get the You Came Back action card back into our hand. Would that be worth it? Or we could play Stitch and Lilo and not ink anything. We like that. We'll just play Lilo and then play Stitch. Not doing the shifts, not doing the things. And we're not going to ink a card because we could shift and we could shift and then we could draw 2 cards with Ursula. We like the sound of that. And then we can use Stitch to take out their Lilo. We get rid of our own Stitch, but their Lilo's gone. They won't be able to get the lures, and that's a good deal for us. We're staying at 3 ink. The shift is only 4 for Rockstar Stitch. We like the sound of that. They want to play the Lilo from the graveyard for free. They have a whole bunch of cards in their hand. They draw 2 cards, and then they discarded a Stitch new dog. They're inking their Ursula. They're really good at inking, and we're not so keen on it. They're definitely questing all the way up to 5. That's 1 more lore than us. Oh, dude, the Queen could discard that Stitch. I think we'll start with singing Heffalumps and Woozles with Ursula, because that's going to let us draw 2 cards, and chosen character can't quest, so it's going to be Stitch, and we get to play it again for freezies, and it's going to be the Stitch can't quest either, because we're going to take out this Lilo. We're going to challenge Stitch and the Lilo. Not going to be able to quest next turn, and then we got to decide if we want to shift. If we shift, then we can get back Heffalumps and Woozles if this survives. So we'll save that for next turn. If we play this, what do we get? Oh, dude. Do we have enough? We do have enough. No, we don't. We don't have enough to play the You Came Back to ready it. If she would have sang 0 to Hero, we could have played the Clarabelle. That was our idea. These can't quest next turn. They have to challenge. So that's going to get rid of Ursula for sure. Shift is 3. I think we ink the Lilo. We will... Do we just put it on it? Or we put it over there? I think we would just put it on it. That's fine. 5 less than 2. That won't work. I could get 2 lore. Maybe that's what we do. We can quest for 3 with this if we get it back, though. There's so many cool options to do now. Do we discard this Stitch to gain 2 lore? Oh, we just used Queen to challenge. That's what we're doing. We challenge with our Queen into the Stitch. Get rid of them. We leave that Stitch there. That's a good deal. Then we can quest our Lilo for 2. And we can quest this Stitch for 3. Lots of thinking for a little bit of lore gain, but that's what we got going on. What else do we got? We got Lilo, who gets played from the graveyard. They ink a Friar Tuck. Play down in Ursula. We got to get rid of that Ursula. Questing. Ouchie, there goes our Lilo. We're not going to play her from the discard for free because we want to play both of our other cards. We don't play her for free. It's going to be a big no. Let's see. We pay 8 less for the next card if we use Ursula. So we are going to sing 0 to Hero with Ursula. It's going to make the next card that we pay cost 4 less. And then we're going to sing it again from the discard for freezies. It's going to make the next card that we play cost 8 less. So that's going to be Clarabelle for a total cost of 0. And then we can still shift Stitch to get back a card. We could get back the You Came Back action card. We'll play Stitch onto Stitch. That's going to get us back the You Came Back action card. Put it to the top of the deck. That's what it does. Do we want to challenge stuff? I think the queen does her thing again. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe the queen could just discard Megara. That'd be a good deal. Or the queen could take her out. Use the queen to take her out. We can quest the Rockstar Stitch for sure. That gets us 3. We can go to 15 so we can end this finally. So we will quest the Stitch, the alien Buccaneer, and then we'll pass the turn. Our opponent has more cards than us at the end of our turn, so our Clarabelle lets us draw a card to have the same amount of cards. They get to draw a card for their start of turn. They are playing the Lilo from the graveyard for free. Not the graveyard, but the banishment area. They play a You Came Back to ready the Lilo. That's what's good. That's the Wombo combo for sure. What else do they got? They're going to take out our Ursula with their Ursula. Their Ursula's still kicking it. But we have game on board, so we're good to go. We're going to play Lilo from the discard for free? No, because we want to play this You Came Back action card. We are going to quest Rockstar Stitch. That gets us 3 lore. Then we are going to play our You Came Back action card to ready Rockstar Stitch. Then we are going to quest Rockstar Stitch to win the game. That's 20 lore. So you can beat the same deck, but you can't beat any other deck. Thanks for watching. We put out new videos every day.